And welcome back to the Ed Show tonight. Thanks for watching our battleground story tonight. There is a civil battle going on right now in this country. States are fighting states over Arizona's anti-immigration law. The White House, in a sense, you could make the case they're sitting on the fence, although the president has been unusually outspoken about this law. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it at all. He said it will lead to citizens being profiled. But the problem isn't the President of the United States. It's the Chief of Staff, Rahm Emanuel, and exactly how much influence he has. The L.A. Times reports Emanuel has argued privately that it's a bad time for Democrats to push an immigration bill, a potential landmine in the midst of a crucial midterm election year. Every midterm is crucial. Come on. Remember that Rahm also didn't want to do health care reform, and he tried to convince the president to gut his reform platform, all right? Well, immigration reform could be a political game changer, in my opinion. It could lock up the Latino vote for Democrats for an entire generation. But more than that, it's the right thing to do. A lot of liberals can't understand why such a bold and visionary leader like President Obama has such a timid attitude when it comes to dealing with his chief of staff, which apparently swings a pretty big stick on this issue, as members of Congress reeling on it. Joining me now is Reverend Jesse Jackson, president of the Rainbow Push Coalition. Reverend, good to have you with us tonight. Thank you.
Good to see you, Ed.
You bet. What should President Obama do about this division that is now starting to unfold in our country? States against states, regions against regions. The numbers are starting to pile up. What do you make of it? What's the play?
Well, time for a bold, comprehensive statement. At some point, he himself had to take the reins of the health care initiative and not just the House, even the Senate, nor his staff, because at the end, he takes the heat for it all. We need a comprehensive immigration plan. There's one policy coming down from Canada, another coming from Haiti, another from Mexico. The president has the obligation and the capacity to articulate his vision and in fact, inspire America to do what is in our moral and our political self-interest as a nation.
You know, I write in my book coming up that there's no way that the Republicans are going to help out President Obama on this with the Democrats because they love cheap labor. They're addicted to it. And big business certainly doesn't want to do anything about somebody coming through the door who's willing to take money underneath the table. Now, with that climate,
well, that's why.
What should the Democrats do?
Well, you know, it's not just that the Mexicans, as it were, Latin Americans are coming across the border. They've been sent for by big business. Employers are helping to drive this agenda. I remember working with Cesar Chavez some years ago out in California, and the farm workers were about to have a vote sale on Tuesday. The week before, they brought in like 2,000 Mexicans across the border to undercut Mexican farm workers, exploiting cheap labor. Even in the New Orleans situation, where indigenous citizens of New Orleans could not get a job, they were bringing in by the droves, Mexicans across the border, to exploit those workers and to play one worker against another worker. So no one can quite say as clearly as he can why that is illegal, why it's morally wrong, and that 12 million undocumented workers in this country who are working and who are generating revenue and paying taxes, there should be some path with the citizenship articulated by the president, and the Congress, House, and Senate should join the president in such a leadership because it's morally right and politically sound.
Now, these are a list of the cities that have joined in the boycott against Arizona and flat out won't travel on official business and are saying that they won't do business with the state of Arizona. San Francisco, Los Angeles, St. Paul, Seattle, Boulder, Hartford, Connecticut, San Diego, Austin, Texas, El Paso, Texas, and Boston. But even the commission in Arizona has gone so far as to tell Los Angeles that they may rework the contract and actually threaten to cut their power off because they get electricity from Arizona. This is really evolving into something that we have never seen happen in this country. How do you intercede in this?
Well, we have seen it happen. We saw it happen in the Civil War, where states' rights challenged the federal government, and they lost. And again, Arizona must rejoin the Union. And so people around the country have a sense of conscientious outrage. I mean, they want the borders fixed. They want a pathway. They do not want the illegal process overrunning borders. So the federal government must act. I mean, there's some anxiety and fear that must be addressed. On the other hand, states cannot usurp federal authority. I would hope that the one bullet pulpit the president has is that of his own platform, and he is articulate, he's smart, and he cares. And I think if he takes the initiative, Congress is going to join the president, and it's always the right time to do the right thing. So to take people out of limbo, out of anxiety, out of fear, to grant them their due citizenship rights. And I think about the green card, Ed, those who come from Mexico, if they come here and go to the front line in the war, they get the front of the line, their citizenship. Yeah. So we're using their workers, exploiting their workers. We're using them in the war to exploit them. And so let's be fair and let's assert that this is the human rights thing to do. It's politically correct, and there's a sense of urgency about it. It's only going to get more volatile between the states unless we deal with it. And I think no one has the authority and the capacity to address this as meaningfully as the president.